Tansei, I could say love, light, and healing all my relations. So, I quickly wanted to say, whenever people see me around in the hood, a lot of the time it's guided, spiritually guided. Sometimes I don't even know where the fuck I'm going. And yesterday I was spiritually guided to bring a certain paper to about a certain program going on in the hood about free clothing and some work gear up at Oppenheimer here, Eguse. And I was walking out here and Ancestor said, "Hey, show this flyer at the homies who are waiting in the social assistance line here." I was like, "Okay." So I did, told them about it. And one homie, I was like, "Yeah, you guys want to check it out? It's open for a couple hours up here." Yeah. So, but one homie just jumped out of the line. He's like, "Yeah, I'll come back here." He goes, "I know I can come back after 1. I let him know, right? I was like, "Yeah, you can come back after 1, right?" So this is about almost 11. And so, yeah, he left with me, and as we're walking, and I was honored by him sharing with me his story. It was very brief. It's like no more from Main Street here, walking up towards Oppenheimer Park, and on Powell. We're walking past my old shelter, one of my many shelters in the hood. And this is my area, right? I've spent a good solid year here, and so I know all these. I've stayed and lived in these places and shelters and community, and it's rough down here, but there's a lot of beauty too, and a lot of community. So homie comes in. He's a Nietzsche boy, black sweater, black pants, some shoes, whatever. Nietzsche boy, young boy. At least over 19. Okay. And then he's talking and stuff, and all I catch is I'm like, "Yeah, man, try to get some clothes here or something. I'm just letting you know." And so he starts telling me, I'm like, "Yeah, you okay, bro?" It's like, you're trying to get your stub in or something. He's like, "No, I'm trying to get some cash or whatever." And I'm like a crisis grant and shit, right? You could get a food grant or crisis grant. Well, homie legit was like, he was, "Yeah, I gotta get that because, there was some shit last night not yesterday, it was the night before." And he goes, "Yeah, da da da." He goes, "Yeah, I had to get some clothes today. I went into this place here, one store, or into probably like one of the SROs where a bar is or something." And he was just like, he had to get a shirt. Another guy was able to get me pants. I'm like, "Oh?" He goes, "Yeah, because, shit went down last night, and, guy held a gun to my head. And, he took his clothes, took everything." And when you hear this stuff, you guys, he's walking with me, he's telling me, like, homie had a gun to his head last night. They took his clothes. He looked roughed up, but at least he didn't, no shiners, When we're in the hood here and you get sucked into these fucking demons, the shit's real. The beatdowns are real. Brutal. And they'll leave you with nothing. So at least he went there, and I went there and I was able to talk to some programs that were going on there at the Oppenheimer Park. This was the working gear program. I guess you wait until lineup, you could get clothes and get some food. So instead of getting clothes, he ended up grabbing some pizza, and then he ended up leaving. And he was pretty happy, and answers were like, "And when you spend time with me, and whatever you share, I'll take it, I'll listen to it." Then I'm tapping into his energy. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna find this fucker." That's what I think. I'm like, but in the meantime, he feels safe, he feels renewed, some hope. We went back to Oppenheimer, and he left with pizza, and he's like, "I'm okay." I'm like, "All right, homies." And I saw him leave, and I was at the totem pole blazing, praising, and then I say, "Okay, homie, send the love, bro." He's like making in spirit, not me when I'm right, But it's stuff like that when I stop and I'm like, who has the gun? Who's rolling around in my hood right next door here, or homies in the lineup? And when you're in the hood, we only stay in a certain circumference. That's it. Okay? So I'm like, who the fuck has the guns? And like, don't underestimate the fact that there's firearms. But we're no states, okay? We don't carry guns out here usually unless you're in crime, criminals, right? But it's still like, if you're Nietzsche and you're still in your high ranking, your ancestors will find me and say, "Can you please just be around my relations and my relative?" I'm like, I will. And so when I'm there, I'll tap in spiritually. Once we're around each other, I can get some, like psychic tap-ins. Okay, and of course, I'm just like, someone held a gun to your head. All right, all right. Thank you. Like I said, I'm glad you're alive. I said, I'm glad you're alive. Hey, give him a pat on his shoulder, and then off he went. And that's all I need to do. And then from there, I'm like, all right, we're gonna find this fuckers. All right, this shit's real. Okay, shit in the hood's very real. Things that go on inside these buildings, it's gotta stop. Figure out a way. But I'm so thankful I was there in that moment, because when you're spiritually tapped in, I'm blessed to be there for my homie there in that moment. And then he can go back in the day, courage, filled tummy, some hope. Right? And he was able to get back in the line up here, and hopefully, get all that shit set up. But yeah, I'll figure it out. But anyway, thank you so much, Kurt. Thank you so much, ancestors. My ancestors, his ancestors, for me to be there and to release it back at the totem pole, back at Oppenheimer Park. And then, Egerson, all my relations. Thank you.